The opposition you still face does come largely from the religious community, from the Christian right. You're a believing Catholic. What do you say to them?
Read Kennedy's decision. The core of it is about human dignity. And that
uses that word 9 times
yes.
or 10 times.
And you know, dignity is a very important word in Catholic theology. Once you've understood a person, a human being has human dignity, there are certain things that will not and cannot be morally done to that person. And I think what he revealed was how gay people before that had been denied that dignity, even by their own church. And I think it's a tragedy that the Catholic hierarchy has taken this position, but one recalls that the new Pope was in favor of civil unions in Argentina, that the new Pope comes from a country where same-sex marriage is legal, the first time. So he knows this. But yes, I would say the religious arguments are more based in fear than in the actual teachings, that they're based upon stray texts that actually don't mean what you think they mean, and that Jesus himself only said one thing about marriage, which is that you can't divorce. And we live in a country where countless people are divorced, and that doesn't seem to threaten the religious liberty of Catholics. And it's as fundamental an issue. So if Catholics can live with religious liberty with divorced people, they should be perfectly able to live with gay people. I mean, as married, as a civil marriage. And I think it will take, I used to say I'm confident the church will change its position at least within the next millennium. But I do believe also that a lot of this was driven by many of us who do have faith and who really believe deep down that God loved us and that what we were doing was God's work. And I think the critical work we did in the 90s and early 21st century was to bring the religious groups and reach out to religious groups. Because remember, Reformed Jews, Episcopalians, many denominations support marriage equality. And if you look at the polling, you'll find that Catholics are the second ethnic group most likely to support it. And my experience was, as a Catholic in the pews, was callousness in the rhetoric from the Vatican, but incredible compassion and support from the people right and left to me in those pews, celebrating the same God, wanting the same communion. And I've seen my own family, an Irish Catholic family, very religious in many ways, come around. I saw when I first went to Christmas with my in-laws after I had proposed to my now husband. And before that, I had been this kind of errands kind of friend that they don't kind of deal with. And as soon as we said we were engaged, they had the vocabulary, the language, they knew who I was, they knew what our relationship was. They knew how to deal with me. We gave them the architecture and the language, the vocabulary. And the question for me was always, with the gay community, is not, why did this happen? Is, why did it take us so long